we've been doing a lot of work around mastery of learning. And so my team, the district STEM team, has kind of named 2 areas of focus this year. One is student engagement, knowing how important that is, particularly during in-home learning. And the other is prioritization, thinking about how do we prioritize what we most hope students will learn. And that work has looked a little bit differently in different grade bands. In middle school, where there are just fewer teachers teaching a particular subject, right? Like we've got 4 comprehensive middle schools. There are still only like 8 6th grade science teachers. It's just not that many, maybe not even that many. Convening them together and do a pretty rigorous process of looking at the units that are coming up, looking at the standards and thinking about what's most important that students will walk away from these units with, kind of moving forward. So let me see if I can find and none of these are perfect, but kind of starting with some core questions, but then thinking about, this is a science example, thinking about, what they call the 3 dimensions of science as they apply to this unit, and then kind of within the unit saying, okay, within this first lesson, what do we most want students to know and understand? And what are like some specific tips for getting them there? And, again, it's been a neat kind of like way to both respond to this remote learning situation, but also to engage people in thinking pretty deeply about standards and 3-dimensionality and all of those things. In elementary, we've been doing a broadly similar thing, but because there's so many teachers at those grade levels, and because they're all trying to teach, 4 different subjects, depending on how you count it, not so much convening them, but actually engaging our district facilitators in developing some of that work and really thinking about, okay, and leveraging guidance from like student achievement partners and saying, okay, what's the priority content? What do we skip? What might we put off a little bit? Where are we going to go deeper? And also like digging really deep into the mathematics and saying, okay, here's this lesson. How might we teach this remotely? And providing a bunch of different options for how students and teachers might engage with that.
So it sounds like with middle school, because you had folks who were the content specialists already, you could, it was really important to engage them in the standards themselves. 2, it was manageable. But with the elementary, teachers had so much on their plate, and candidly, like elementary aged teachers tend less to be specialists in any one content area, and more special in like how kids engage in content areas. And so in that case, you said district facilitators. Are those your coaching teams?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And again, obviously developing feedback loops with teachers, saying what's working, what's not working, engaging. We also have school-based instructional facilitators, basically school-based coaches that vary a little bit school to school, but looping them into that work also, as they sometimes know it better. But really providing a bunch of resources.